Hello folks, this is Jeff Phillips with SmokingMeat.com, and today I'm going to be showing you my method for making homemade pork belly bacon. Now there's two methods for making this. One is you apply the curing salt to the outside of the pork belly and use a little math to figure out the weight, and that tells you how much salt to use. The other method, which we're going to be using, is the wet curing method, where you measure out your salt, your curing salt, into the water. Mix that together, place your pork belly into that for 10 days in the fridge, and then you're ready to smoke it and slice it and all that good stuff. So I'm going to be showing you all of these steps in this video, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is make up our curing brine. With a gallon of water, there's not enough room for all of this, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and pour a little bit of this water out. Maybe a little more than that. Pour a little of that out into our bowl that the pork belly is going to go into. We will start with our curing salt. So a heaping tablespoon. We're going to add that to the water. Now I have 1/2 cup of coarse kosher salt here, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to the water. I have my white granulated sugar here, 1/2 cup. I'm going to add that to the water. And we have our 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar that we're gonna add to the water. And I'm going to take my wooden stirring spoon here and just stir all this in. Now I'll be stirring this for about 1.5 minutes or so. Just want to make sure everything dissolves. Now you could also make this curing brine in a large stock pot if you wanted to, and that's probably actually a better way to do it if you're not sure that 1 gallon of water will fit into your bowl with your pork belly. And then, of course, if you need more curing brine, you can always make another batch, or you can make another half batch. And it should be pretty good right there. You want to make sure everything's dissolved. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to cut our pork belly in half. You may have a bowl that you don't need to do that. To me, it's more manageable to cut this pork belly into half. You could even do it into thirds if you really wanted to make it into more manageable pieces. I usually just do it in half, so that's what we'll do. Make sure you have a good sharp knife. And there we have it. Now I'm going to place the pork belly into my brining container. This is a 6-quart, I believe it is, a 6-quart bowl, and that's what I always use for my pork belly. And I'm just going to pour this right over the top. And this will fill it almost all the way up. There we go. And then I'm just going to kind of move the meat around a little bit to make sure the brine is able to get to everything. Now you'll notice the pork belly is trying to float just a little bit, but another thing I like to do is to place a Ziploc bag full of ice on top of here, and that kind of presses the pork belly down and keeps everything below the surface. So that's what we'll do right now. I have a zip top bag here full of ice, and one advantage to that is to press the pork belly down under the water and keep it from floating. Another advantage is it starts to cool that brine real nice. We want to get that brine down to 40 degrees or below as quickly as possible. When we put our lid on, the lid is going to press that down, keep that pork belly submerged. just like that. So we're going to go place this into the fridge, and it needs to stay in the fridge for 10 days. And every day I'm going to go out there and flip the pork belly pieces over, switch them around, and this ensures that the cure is able to get to all of the meat evenly throughout that 10-day course of time. Our pork belly has been in the fridge for the last 10 days, actually almost 11 days now, and I'm ready to pull this out, and we're going to do a quick salt test on it to make sure the salt is right. Let's just take a look at this. So when I say salt test, we're basically going to pull one of these out of this brine, and then I'm going to place this on my board. And I'm going to slice off a little piece. Everyone's salt sensitivity is different, so you want to make sure that the salt level is right for you and your family. You just cut off a little sliver, just like that. And we're going to go fry that up here in the frying pan, and we're just going to kind of get a sense of if the salt level is correct, because at this point in the game, if the salt level is too high, if it's more than what I want, I can soak this in fresh water for several hours and leach out some of the salt. I've got my pan over here ready. I'm just going to kind of drop that into the pan, and we're just going to fry up this bacon. I actually cut off another piece here. It's got a little more meat on it. I'm going to make sure we get a good sense of that salt level. Once we smoke this bacon and are ready to slice it, at that point in the game you can't change the salt level. That's why it's so important to take a few minutes and perform this test. Let's go ahead and try that piece right there. That's really good. It's not overly salty, and that's just what I'm used to tasting. Now, if that fry test had have shown that we had too much salt in our pork belly, we would have removed this other pork belly out, dumped out the curing brine. I would have rinsed the bowl out and then replaced it with fresh water, and then I would have put the pork bellies back into the bowl, covered it up, put it back in the fridge for 4, 5, 6 hours, and then done the fry test again. And I would repeat that process until I got the salt to where I wanted it. But because our fry test showed us that the salt level is exactly right where we want it, we don't have to do that. This pork belly has taken on a lot of water over the last 10 days. So I'm going to be placing this pork belly on our pan here, and we are going to be placing this back into the fridge for about 24 hours while it dries. We want the outside of this pork belly to dry. We want it to form a nice sticky surface called a pellicle so that the smoke will stick to it real nice. Now I'm going to grab a paper towel here, and I'm going to try my best to remove as much water as I can just by patting it dry here. And once I get this top side, I will flip it over. I'm going to go ahead and get the sides. This is why some people like to do the dry curing method, so you don't take on any extra water. But it's, in my opinion, it's not a problem. You just need to make sure you dry it real well. Let's go ahead and flip this one as well. The more time you can spend drying this before you place it into the fridge, the better off you'll be. We can actually flip that back over. I like to place this in the fridge and leave it for about 24 hours. You can get by with 4 to 6 hours if you have to. But in my opinion, the longer you leave it, the longer you let it dry, the better your end product. So just kind of build that into your time. I'm literally going to place this pan just like this, uncovered, in the bottom of my fridge, out in the garage, where it won't be disturbed. And we will show you what this looks like when it finishes drying. We just pulled this pork belly out of the fridge. It's been in there for the last 24 hours, drying, forming that pellicle I was talking to you about. The top of this it looks shiny. You can see it's got kind of a tacky, sticky feel to it. And that's what we're looking for. We're getting ready to go put this in the smoker. And we're looking at probably 6 to 8 hours in the smoker. I've got it running at about 180. We're going to be trying to get this up to somewhere around 145 before we pull it out. And we're also looking for a good color and the right amount of smoke. Let's go put this in the smoker and get that going. We're using the Rectech RT700 smoker today. I'm going to actually take these off of this rack today and put them right on the smoker grate. I want maximum smoke. So the smoke in this Rectech is real consistent. Puts out lots of smoke, and that's what I'm wanting. I'll see you guys in a little bit. The pork belly has been in the smoker for right at 7 hours. It's reached 145 in the center of the meat, and we are ready to take this off onto our pan here. As you can see, this looks really, really good. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Beautiful brown color. Lots of good smoky flavor. And I'm just going to be setting that right on my pan over here. This looks really good. Smells good. It's a good color. The next step in this process is to slice this stuff up. And to do that, we want it to be real nice and firm. We're going to actually place this into some zip top bags and put it in the freezer for about 2 hours. And that will really firm the meat up so that it won't be frozen, but it'll be a lot more sliceable. So we'll see you back here in just a little bit. We just pulled the bacon out of the freezer. It's been in there for a little more than 2 hours, and it's nice and cold. I'm using the Chef's Choice 609 slicer. This is not an expensive slicer. This is something you can get on Amazon for around $100 if I remember right. We're just going to start off at about 5. We've got this plugged in, ready to go. Now what I'm going to do, because it's a small slicer, I'm going to cut off about maybe a third of this to start with, and we're going to kind of go from there. As you can see, the grains are running just like that, and I'm wanting to slice this right across the grain to make that bacon more tender. So let's just cut us off a piece there. You can see how good that looks on the inside. And we're going to press that right up against that blade there. And turn it on. You want to watch the back side here if you want to. Come back. Let's turn that off a minute and look at our slices. That's about right if it's just something you're wanting to do for breakfast or something you want to take camping with you. If you were going to wrap something, you'd probably want that to be quite a bit thinner. So a lot of this just depends on what you like. We're just going to keep rolling here, and I will come back and show that to you when we get this all sliced up. We've got the bacon all sliced up, Ended up with some bits and pieces here, which I chopped up and put into a bag. We'll use those for beans and stews, whatnot. I'm going to be vacuum sealing these, and I'll give some to family and friends. We'll keep some in the freezer. But overall, I'm real happy with how it turned out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today as I cooked up this homemade pork belly bacon. I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you had a lot of fun watching it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. This is something you can definitely do at your home in your smoker. And I look forward to hearing about those experiments down below in the comments. Once again, this is Jeff Phillips with smokingmeat.com, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.